Right, we are live. Hey guys, how's it going? Welcome back to the Kiwi Lads channel. We are back for another match of rugby union. This one a little bit different to the ones we normally cover. It is going to be Munster taking on South Africa A. Now, Munster there at home with a massive crowd in attendance for this matchup. Quite a few exciting players scattered throughout both of these sides. A lot of the guys in South Africa A right on the cusp of being able to make their way into the Springboks. So we will be looking through at the starting lineups. The match is only about 10 minutes away, so not too long to wait till we do see some action. But it's going to be Josh Wishley, whose name I always mispronounce, but he is in the starting lineup at number 1 for Munster, alongside Baron and Salanoa as the front row. Adogbo, he has been sensational throughout the URC for Munster this year, so it's exciting to see that he once again does get that opportunity. McDonald will be slotting in at number 5. Blindside flanker, they have gone Jack O'Donoghue, John Hodner at number 7, and Gavin Coombs at number 8. So a very strong loose forward trio for the Munster men in this matchup. Paddy Patterson will be playing halfback with Ben Healy at fly half. Simon Zebo out on the wing. Rory Scannell and also Fish will be the midfield. Shane Daly and Mike Haley, the last two names in the starting lineup. Now, the reason I've read that out rather than showing them on the screen is I couldn't actually find the animations that I normally do for the lineup. So that is why we have had to read them out. But we have got a whole heap of people in the chat at the moment. We've got Paul, we've got John, we've got Connor, we've got Booty, we have got Yanlu. Also, we have got Crazy and Zed and Richard and Scrum. Let's hope you guys are all doing well and are excited for this matchup. At the end of the day, it's something we don't get to see too often. A almost international side taking on a URC side, which is pretty awesome. See that it has taken place. Looking through at the starting lineup, it will be Machuno at number 1 for the SA-15. Joseph Dweber. Now, this man really needs a big game here because he's had a little bit of a struggle over the last couple of weeks in the Stormers camp, and I do hope that it does start to improve for Dweber at hooker for this one. Thomas Tatoy will be there at number 3, so certainly a world-class player starting in to close out that front row. Jason Jenkins, a man who has been put into the Springboks squad but is just missing out on selection for now. Maybe if he has a big game here, could help him get that little bit more of a push that he needs. Roa Nokia will be joining him in the locking duo at number 5. Pepsi Buthelezi playing 6 for this game. We are used to seeing him play 8 in the URC, so a new opportunity here for the Sharks. Number 8 normally. Heinrich Lowe at number 7 and Jean-Luc Dupré at number 8. Herschel Yankees and Johan Husum will be the 19 combo. Lilian Zas, Cornel Hendricks, Hinko Van Veek. Watch out for this guy because he it's going to be absolutely awesome. And then we have also got there Hudson-Berger, number 14, and Apalele Fassi slotting in as the last man there. And also we have got there, do you see we have Kitsoff. Says Gregor Galway. You have Kitsoff, as in Stephen Kitsoff, for this match or for the international game, Gregor Galway? Do let me know, because I'm not seeing a Kitsoff in their starting lineup, but I do see a Malachi Fekitoa off the bench, which is going to be pretty awesome to see the Kiwi, or should I say the Tongan now, get into the opportunity. Can Munster and South Africa A do their 1 All Blacks win and 3 Australia wins since they won in 1978, and it's the Spicy Plum, says Scrum Lass. And yep, for next season, says Gregor Galway. So that is a big signing if Stephen Kitsoff. Yeah, I have to wait and see exactly how it goes. They're saying that they want to see a nice attacking style of rugby from the Munster men. The thing is, I have no idea how this SA-15 side are going to play. We're either going to see it a little bit like the Barbarians, how maybe they just go out there, caution to the wind, try and absolutely throw everything at their opposition, or we will see that normal Springbok structure, which will involve going for that back line, maybe a couple box kicks every once in a while. As little as some people enjoy them, that might be the tactic that does get used throughout this fixture. Hello, lad, says Totally Lemon. Welcome in, mate. Hope you are doing well. And let's go TMO. Says a mark there. And Scrum Lad says Crazy and Z and Munster have no heart without Omani. Says a River Power. And they did have a little bit of a rough start to the URC season, but I think they're slowly starting to build on that after a little bit of a rough start, I think is the best way of describing it. They just couldn't quite find their momentum. And also we've got the evening Amish evening Bok fans. You won't need your excuses list. Excuses book. Should be an easy win. Says Vinter there at A Scrum Lass, says Crazy NZ, and he's drunk, says Albert. And there, it's quite early here in New Zealand. I'll be honest, I've woken up early about 3 days in a row. It feels really weird. Is it on Virgin Media 2? Says Yarn. Now it is indeed. Or I am watching it on Virgin Media Television Player. So we're actually streaming from Ireland, believe it or not, in terms of VPN location. So it's a bit weird to say that I'm from Ireland for this live stream. But the thing is, the stream seems to be running smoothly, which is actually very promising. So hopefully that is the case throughout the whole match. And also we have got the great song, Let's Stand Up and Fight. Let's do it for Anthony's family, says Richard. And there as well. But yeah, the crowd in attendance, about 41,500 were expected for this matchup. And it seems like every single one of them is packed into the stadium. The last, I guess you could say, the last preparations just taking place for both of the sides before we get in. And Peter O'Mahony isn't playing today. He is not, because Ireland are also playing at the same time this weekend. They've got their game up against Fiji, so he is not going to be available for Munster. Also, a couple other notable names missing for Munster. Joey Carberry, he is not there. Also in the fullback, I believe they've got one or two other, if I am not wrong. And also, you have my commentary. That is true. I am now listening to Irish commentators, so I'll get to hear what some of you guys hear on, I guess, a weekly basis. And also, they say to you, Sister Hopeful, as well. I'm waiting for the Aussie versus Kiwis women's game. I will stay updated with this game as well. See, it's crazy. That is a good point. That one is going to be taking place very soon, isn't it? 8:30 a.m. Looking forward to see how Bok A centre combo goes, says Albert. Yeah, they have got Hinker van Vick and Cornell Hendricks. Could be a future Springbok combination if they do end up getting it right in rugby for days. 10 out of 10 out of 10. And they say eye tackle, not high tackle, says Robert. I wonder whether or not I'm going to accidentally, without even thinking about it, slightly pick up an Irish accent by the end of this one with some of what I say. I hope that's not the case. And also, we've got this nice, glad I told you about it, says Yanri now. I also looked on Ultimate Rugby just to confirm, and they did have the list of broadcasters. Apparently, it's on SuperSport for you guys in South Africa, for anyone who does want to watch this game as that option. But now, we have had the song sung before the matchup, and now they are fired up. And first ever match played here, says Richard. And now I have someone to watch the game live, says Yanri now. And also we have got there, did you watch the Black Caps? I did see parts of their game, but not quite all of it, because I did end up going to sleep before the match was over. And yeah, the Black Caps getting taken out of that Cricket World Cup. And also last night we saw that England were able to get themselves a very nice win over the Indians. So it is going to be Pakistan versus England in the Cricket World Cup final. And also not the best night at the stadium. It's windy, and it was raining just a few minutes ago. Is this on Sky or Spark? It's actually on neither of them. If you got yourself a VPN, you can go on to virginmediatelevision.ie, which is the Irish way of watching it, I guess you could say, but also on SuperSport in South Africa. It's not that easy to find, but if you have got a VPN, you can fire it up, or you can watch along with the Women's League World Cup match that has taken place between New Zealand and Australia, and we will give you updates on what is happening for this one. I missed the Scotland-Australia game, and I still don't know who won. I'm afraid to look, says Crumless. It'll be a good game to catch up on, so we won't spoil it for you, because it was a good match. And also, Hamish, the great Irish commentator, says Crazy NZ, and I passed large crowds hearing there on my way home from work. And how's it, Hamish, I should say. Can you give us the South Africa A lineup? Sorry, tuned in a bit late. Says Roger, no worries. And also the front row will be Machunu, Joseph Dweber, and Thomas Detoya. Strong front row to start out this Bok team, or this Bok A team, I guess you could say, for this lineup. Jason Jenkins and Rowan Nokia, they will be the lock pairing. Buthelezi, Heinrich Lowe, and J. L. Duprea going to be slotting in there as the last man in the fullback. Herschel Yankees, Johan Hussen, Lillian Zass, Cornell Hendricks, Hinko van Vick, also Hudson Berg at number 14, and then Apalele Fassi going to be the last man in the starting lineup. And come on, Munster, says Richard. And also we have got there, that will suit Ireland, the win in the rain. Yeah, might make it a little bit easier for them to find their feet in this match early, which is exactly what they'll be after. At the end of the day, they've got the home field advantage. They want to make the most of it. Another English ref I see, says Richard. And at the moment, we see Lillian Zass saying his last-minute prayer before getting into this contest. They are just about to tell us the official attendance as well, which 41,400. And like they're saying, a majority of those crowds are all wearing red. And thanks, Bill. Funny no Ruas. Yes, Ivo Ruas actually missing out on the main squad and the B squad, or the A squad, I guess you could call it. So it seems like they're really strategically waiting to use him by the sounds of it. I have no idea what the plan is for him, though. And because the Boks are renowned for their expensive rugby, says Vinton. And there as well. But now Munster making their way out onto the field, led out by Jack O'Donoghue. Just walking a couple of children out there onto the park. This is going to be a big game for them. Gavin Coombs, he is also going to be one to watch out for in this match. And also, let's go Munster, says Connor. South Africa, they are going to be wearing their, I guess you could say, their slight home kit, but it has got a little bit of a new design across the sleeves for the South Africa A side. Almost looks a little bit more like their, I want to say more like their sevens kit, but it looks like Munster just going to take a team photo just like you do when you are lining up in high school. The thing is, that's normally quite hard to work out because, you got to work out who's the tall one, so the locks have to go in the back. But then you probably have to put them in the front now that I think about it, or else they'll be too tall for the photo. So it'll be quite a hard one to work out for them. Do you see Alan Alatal will captain the Wallabies versus Italy this weekend? Sees Xavier did. So it seems like we've got a few new captains because Ireland have also got Ty Furlong as their newly made skipper. And also, who do you got, says Luke? I think South Africa A on paper should win this game, but with the Munster fans behind Munster firmly, you just never quite know what could happen. Because Munster, we've seen them have a bad start to the URC, and then they came out up against one of the SA sides and absolutely just poured it on, the pressure that is. So maybe, who knows, there could be an upset on the cards. And go Munster, let's bring your kids to work day. And anyone know where I can watch the game live? Says Ashton, if you've got a VPN, you can watch it on virginmediatelevision.ie. That is the Irish option on Virgin Media 2. If you're in South Africa, Super Sport. I believe those are the two options to be able to watch this contest. But now, South Africa A, they will be kicking off this matchup. And we are now underway, ladies and gentlemen, for another match of the Autumn Internationals. Nicely taken by Gavin Coombs inside of the 22. And now looking like Paddy Patterson going to try and roll it back. That is a very fun name to say, I will mention. Not available yet. Now use it. Carl Dixon in charge of this contest. Normally pretty strict with his rulings, but normally not a bad referee to watch. South Africa 15 now claiming it down inside of their own half with Abalele Fasi. Passes across to Johan Hus and the Bulls number 10 trying to pierce his way through, but it's a good tackle made by Munster's defence. Herschel Yankees goes across now. I believe it's going to be the big number 8. Nice flick out the back from Duprea. Ruan Nokia hits hard at the line. Moment. Looks like they're setting up for their first kick of the day here, South Africa, other than, of course, the kickoff. And it was captain for South Africa, says Connor. I want to say, is it Thomas du Toit, the captain of the South African side, or is he not? Do let me know. I don't actually know who they have as their captain. Nicely taken by, I believe it was Ben Healy in the end, almost putting it into touch. Just manages to hang on. Great kick downfield, but it's nicely taken by SA. Now kicking back downfield, Apalele Fasi kicks it straight out on the full, and that's going to be the early battle in the territory battle, I should say, won by Munster. An evening here in Cape Town. Greetings to the Kiwi Lads and Hamish. So happy that it's all good with your channel. Thanks for being. All right, thanks. You're back rocking it again, says Ruth. Yeah, we did end up with a copyright strike for anyone who doesn't know from last week's rugby league ventures. So we had to try and get that cleaned up. Luckily, it didn't take too long for it to work out. And also, me and the other Richard are, say, 3 or 4 minutes ahead of you, says Richard. And you are far behind, says James. Do you think I should refresh? Do you think that would be a good idea? Now the rolling maul starting to open up for Munster. We'll wait until we have a stoppage in play, and then we will try and refresh the broadcast. Of course, with a VPN, you probably find yourself delayed a little bit more. Now, Gavin Coombs around the side of the breakdown, not looking too bad here for Munster as they start to build earlier. Dogbu, nice inside ball. Now Patterson once again going off to the right-hand side. Little flick out the back now. Beautiful play from Munster. Looking for the corner. Shane Daly's in. And Munster score first. And also, was it the rat? No, it was a different one. It was actually a rugby league broadcaster. But we managed to get it removed. They were actually very quick with helping us and try Munster say no more. Says Finton in there. But brilliant work from the Munster men to be able to get themselves the first try of the contest. It was Shane Daly who went in and got himself a very nice try out wide. There we go. We have refreshed. I don't think we're any further ahead than we already were, to be honest. So it might be because they're trying to get it from Ireland to New Zealand. Might take a little while. 7-0, says Connor in there. So yeah, I've already seen the kick. I feel like this is going to be one of those games that you guys will see everything before I do. So I might end up seeing everything in the chat before seeing it in game, which would be unfortunate. Nice offload, says Finton. And there's well, but now the kick is coming up for Ben Healy. And it's gone silent. You can make 41,400 people quiet just like that. And the kick has snuck over the left-hand upright. So that will now make the score 7-0. Oh, the game's very loud in my eardrums now. There we go. We have turned it down just a little bit, but it was a great offload from Mike Haley. The ball on the outside, SA 15. Certainly not starting this match how they would have liked. The one big attack from Munster. It's really looked like it's caused some trouble, but Shane Daly scores. He's very happy with that one. And also, what streams are you doing tonight? Says Xavier. Tonight, I don't believe we've got any streams on the cards that I know of. What's on tonight, Xavier? Do let me know. I don't think there's anything on, though. And also, my lips are sealed, says Richard, and also buzzing for Wales versus Argentina. That is going to be an awesome matchup. And that just says how good Island Club Rugby is, says Richard, and up the box, says Mark, and nice, says Nate. And there as well, now Apalele Fasi takes it again. That's the thing, South Africa, hey, the thing that they have got as their slight downfall here for a start will definitely be chemistry. These guys haven't really been playing together for too long, scattered across the 4 South African URC teams, but they'll have to find that chemistry very quickly. Nice run in the midfield, almost be able to break through for Lely and Zas, now available. Herschel Yankees goes back across, short ball to Machunu, but it's a rough one and it's a knock on. Now Munster have been able to pounce on that ball and take it back. Paddy Patterson back into the pocket. Munster looking for the 50-22. It's not quite going to make it there. And also we have got there, did you see Vincent to Ulster? Now, which Vincent are we talking? Is it Vincent to Shuka? Or is it a different Vincent? James, do let me know. I mean, Saturday, says Xavier. So on Saturday, we've got a weird day now, but we are going to be doing New Zealand versus Australia, the matchup in the morning for the Rugby League semi-final. Then I'm actually going and playing cricket, believe it or not. So that will be a biggish afternoon. And then after that, we're doing the women's game between New Zealand and England. So they are the ones on Saturday. And then, of course, Sunday night, we've got a few more that are scattered throughout there. And also we have got there, Wu says Scrumless. And also we have got there Munster giving the box a run, says Francois. Or Francis, it might be. And what happened the other night, Amish between Samoa and Tonga live commentary at cut off, says Nate. Pretty much we ended up with a copyright strike on the middle of the live stream, which was very unfortunate. We were having some fun on that one. But yeah, we ended up with a copyright strike. Luckily, I was able to get in contact with the people who struck it, and they, after a day or so, took the strike away. But yeah, that would have been really unfortunate. If that was the first live stream of the weekend, then we wouldn't have actually been able to do any of the internationals while that strike was active. Haley takes it nicely. Now back across. Now it's going to be Scannell. Ball on the outside. Simon Zebo looking for the kick in behind it. Sits up nicely straight into the hands of South Africa, though, and it was Apalele Fasi now kicking it back downfield. Healy takes it nicely. Looking to curl it for the 50-22. It's going to keep on rolling all the way dead. And it will be going back to where it kicked it from. I'm glad that John Ryan was able to go back to Munster and not Vincent. It was Kitsoff, says James. And there's Vincent Cock because no more Wasps. And there's Ed Scrumless. And doing the Island match on Saturday versus, I think that's supposed to be Fiji, isn't it? If I'm not wrong. But the thing with that match is it does overlap with Samoa versus England in the Rugby League World Cup. So it's either that we get to cover about 70 or so minutes of the Island Fiji game and then switch over, which could be an idea, or I just need to find someone to do that last kind of 10 to 15 minutes of the commentary for me while I am doing the other one type thing. And quite unusual for a game on Thursday night, Friday morning, says Novmum. Yeah, they've got a few games taking place at random hours. I know that the Barbarians are going to be playing some midweek games coming up relatively soon. Oh, it's gone down on the front rows. We will have the scrum reset. Currently 8 minutes into this contest, 7-0 still for the Munster. Looks like your coverage has caught up with mine. And Island Hamish, says Finton there, into the Island and then switch, says James at also 1 p.m. Irish time, says Richard, and South Africa will score points of winner, says Mark, and rolling. Good song that, says Nuzzy Williams. An oldie but a goodie, I guess you could say. All right. 4 packs at the moment. They've certainly got some good front rows. Machunu, Dweba, and Thomas Dadoy pack a punch for SA 15. But the thing is, that's going to be a free kick to South Africa. So I think maybe trying to jump the gun a little bit there for the Munster front row. They might decide to go for the scrum again. Yes, they do. You're pre-engaged, says Carl Dixon there. I believe that was Roman Salanoa on that near side who's been getting a little bit of a warning. We can hear the crowd really getting behind Munster, as they will for this matchup, and also some Limp Biscuit, says Grumlass there. And also we have got there, how you doing, brother, says CP. Welcome in, mate. Hope you are doing very well. I am doing very well myself. got some sore muscles because I went to cricket training last night. I'm playing cricket tomorrow. I don't know whether or not it's going to go any good, but I might be quite sore by tomorrow night, depending on how much batting or bowling I do. I'll probably get a golden duck. That will be a quick batting innings. Now Herschel Yankees goes across to the left-hand side. Nice wide cut-out pass, nicely taken and kicked him behind once again by Apalele Fassi. That seems to be his tactic. He's kicked that ball well. Haley has had a real struggle getting that ball. Haley, almost. Okay, it's going to be a 5-metre scrum. I was just trying to work out whether or not they were going back for the initial advantage and what it stinks for giving Kiwi lads a strike, says Nate there. But yeah, they said that the reason it got struck was because the title that I used was very similar to a title that they had on their website. And it's like, so? And I think they pretty much, yeah, it was a weird situation. But I got it sorted, which is the main thing. The worst thing would have been if we had to wait 2 weeks to have it sorted naturally, I guess you could say. So we'll take it. We're back on YouTube now, luckily. And also, I've been AWOL for this from this live stream. Been a hectic few weeks. CSCP and a free kick for South Africa from the scrum is a win for Munster. And like the video guy says, King, you heard the man. If you haven't already, be sure to leave a like and subscribe. The ball's gone in for SA 15. So they try and push hard. There's going to be a knock on there against Munster's number 9, or at least it should have been. It did hit his hands. Now the ball available once again. Herschel Yankees try to go out to the side. I believe that would have been Heinrich Lowe having the carry there. Advantage offside. So Munster's defence normally very strong throughout the URC, but the discipline might let them down a little bit here as they have got a lot of tall timber being thrown at them. Roa Nokia now gets close. Still 5 metres out from the line. Herschel Yankees looking off to the side. It's intercepted after a bit of rush defence. And now they are going to be going back for the offside penalty. And also, why is that a pen? Says Richard, offside. So they reported you because the title was the same. Clown behaviour, says Grumless. And yeah, and also, do you think Joseph will have a better game? I don't think it can get much worse for Joseph Dweber, which sounds really harsh, but we've been watching him throughout the Stormers URC campaign, and it just has not been good, has it? And also, wait, what happened? Pretty much we got a copyright strike on our Samoa versus Tonga live stream. So it was around halftime. We were building up beautifully in terms of, a matchup that was going to be absolutely incredible for the second half. And I didn't get to see a majority of it because I was trying to send a whole heap of emails out to people trying to get the copyright strike removed. But luckily it's been removed. We're going to be back this weekend with the Rugby League World Cup, including the game tomorrow morning, taking place between New Zealand and Australia. Still a 5-metre scrum here for South Africa. So they're not willing to take the 3 points, which I guess shows they're going to be aggressive in this contest. They want to try out a few other things. It's like reporting someone for identity theft because you have the same name as you, or because they have the same name as you, says Scrum Lass. Yeah, it's a new one for us, I guess you could say. Now, big push from Munster, driving South Africa back a little bit, but now only 5 metres out from the line. Good run from Cornell Hendricks. It's going to be a new advantage. Hang on, Carl, you've got your wrong arm out. He's just realised. I think he might have heard me because he said, sorry, yep, and then switched it to the other way. But he did have the advantage from Munster, even though Munster did not have the advantage. And instead, now South Africa have got themselves the advantage here. Now it is going to be Herschel Yankees, goes off to the right-hand side. Cut out pass, goes to Apalele Fassi, who drives in, scores the try. And South Africa 15 and now find themselves back into the contest. 30K subscribers by the Kiwi lads by the end of next year. Certainly doable, which sounds really weird to say. Like, we thought 1,000 was going to be impossible. And now it dawned on me the other day, like, we weren't prepared for a 20,000 subscriber special video, but now we're going to have to start preparing because we're only about 900 away here. And no way was that offside, says Richard. And also, nah, I can't go 2 weeks without Kiwi Lads show, says Nate. Yeah, we would end up just doing it on the Kiwi Lads Sport, to be honest. And you're still 2 or 3 minutes behind, says Richard. And yeah, pretty much we are unable to change that, though, sadly, by the sounds of it, just because we're on a VPN, we refresh, and then this is as soon as they show us what's happening. Try South Africa, says Richard. And great comeback by South Africa, says Mark. And Hamish, bro, how good is the Rugby League World Cup? Been so many close games, says Jobo. Hopefully England versus Samoa is closer than the last time that they did end up facing off, because last time they faced off, it was anything but close. I think it was about 48 points in favour of the English, wasn't it? But Johan Horsen about to line up this kick. 14 minutes in. Straight down the middle. Exactly how we would have liked to strike that one. So that's going to make the score now 7-all between these two sides. So it's ramping up to be a decently 50-50 style of contest. And I, South Africa captain Thomas Detoy, says Bianca. And also we have got the 20K subs live stream party, says Scrumless. Yeah, we have got a few things in mind as special, I guess, 20K subscriber videos. In fact, ladies and gentlemen, while you're here in the chat, what is something you would like to see us try and do for 20,000 subscribers? Now, I can say straight away, disclaimer, we will not be able to do everything. Maybe not even a few of the things that you guys recommend, because I feel like you guys are very creative, but we'll see what we can do. Do let me know. And yes, fantastic kick from Kickoff, says Richard. It's done very well from Healy, and now looks like it is going to be the scrum feed here. Just going the 10 meters, and it was actually, yeah, very nice work from Shane Daly getting through. And how do you feel about the South African squad that will take on France? I prefer this one than what they did last week, because pretty much last week, Cheslin Colby at 15, I can understand why they thought it was a good idea, but having him as the kicker was not a good idea, I don't think. But it's one of those interesting ones that I think this week they've got it slightly more right. Hamish plus George plus Isaac plus Daniel. Yeah, we need to try and get all the lads together, don't we? That's going to be the tricky part. We might have to make a road trip up to Christchurch, see Isaac. And also we need all 4 Kiwi lads, says Grumlace. Hello from Timaru. Hello. Hope the weather's all right. You're actually just up the road from myself. A PS5 giveaway and a pole dance. Wait, pole dancing? I mean, I don't know how well I go at pole dancing, to be honest with you. I feel like my upper body strength wouldn't quite be able to cut it. I would love a content creator's massive game of touch rugby, like the Sidemen match, says Xavier Brown. I guess the only problem I've got is there are no content creators around me. I don't think. Not that I know of. I feel like the closest that I know of is in Auckland, which is quite a while. That one was not a good kick there from South Africa. And now Munster are going to have themselves possession inside of the South African half, now slinging it back across. It will be the big man, Salah Noah. And also a vlog with the boys or something, says CP. And there, yeah, we will have to try and get some sort of nice old-fashioned videos. And you have to eat 20 chicken nuggets in one sitting. George would do that as an entree. Like, he is a beast when it comes to food eating challenges. He'd drink like 2 liters of chocolate milk, and then he'd probably regret it. But he would do it just for the sake of it. And Scrum Munster. See, there's Richard there. Right, it's going to be the scrum feed now for Munster. So South Africa's coaching staff not looking too happy at the moment. They will certainly want to make sure that their side keep on going a little bit better in the near future. One moment. The coverage for me has cut off. So we will have to quickly get that back. Okay, this is unfortunate. It seems like it doesn't want to come back. One moment, ladies and gentlemen. Temporarily interrupted, it says, for my VPN. And also you should try full South African national anthem for 20K subscribers and what Munster was standing over in bad decision, says Richard in the chat as well. One moment. We're going to close that tab and we're going to open it back up, and hopefully it will behave itself this time. We'll go here, go connected. I guess this is the one risk of a VPN. If it does decide to cut out, you are kind of caught at the mercy of said VPN. Okay, that one's going to once again not work, so we're going to have to go to our other VPN on the fly. Hopefully this doesn't cut out the live stream, ladies and gentlemen, but if it does, we will be back in a very, very short moment once it does end up going through. So we go here, here. We'll just quickly... Okay, still does want to do that. One moment, we'll disconnect from that one because that VPN does suck. We'll go like this. And also, we've got the Uber Eats delivery for 20K subs, but the delivery man is Maxi, says Grumlass. It's an idea. It's a decent one. I mean, it would be awesome to be able to do something with Maxi, I think, as the final, I mean, not the final video, I should say, but a big one. We could all throw $20 your way for your effort savers, bro. Says Roger, and yeah, that's not necessary. It's all good. Overall, I don't like taking money from you guys. I always feel weird when people donate. We are just frantically typing so that we can set up the other VPN that I have got. And also, you know the word, he's a lad. And there, maybe do a highlight video of all the epic moments from your Kiwi Lads one in the past. That's the thing. We've probably got a lot of moments over the years. And we were even considering doing some sort of maybe reacting to old video. I didn't realize Kiwi girls are playing Aussie right now in the Rugby League World Cup. Yeah, they are. It seems like it's going to be a relatively interesting game. But anyone wondering about this game between Munster and South Africa A, it is still 7-7. We are just quickly getting the coverage back up because it has decided that it does pretty much want to disconnect us. So what we're going to do is we're going to hopefully go through our other VPN. I'm worried that this is going to cut out the Wi-Fi very quickly. But if it does, we will just have to get it back pretty much instantly. Hopefully we'll go like this. And we will go like this, hopefully. One moment. Technical difficulties, ladies and gentlemen. This is why I don't use a VPN to watch games as well, I should mention, because you can never guarantee they are actually going to work, which is a bit of a shame. And also, we have there David and Morton in the chat. Welcome in, mate. Hope you are doing very well. At the moment, we are just quickly downloading a VPN again so that we do have access to the game. Right, we'll quickly go like this. We need the browser extension for Chrome. Yep, we'll download that. And also, are you trying to connect to RTE? Are they blocked? Most VPNs, says Cosmo. So it was working originally, which is a bit unfortunate because it seems like it was, I guess, it worked up to a point and then it got cut out straight away after. Right, there we go. We might have it almost back. And what is your favorite club team? Kiwi Lad, says Damon Drake. My favorite club team, that's actually a very tricky one because there are a lot of very good sides. Right, it's trying to get me to sign up for another VPN, even though I already have a VPN. Members login. This will help. Right, we're already logged in, which I assume now means we can just access it. Hopefully. There you go. Select account. Do I have more than one? That one. There we go. And also I found how to watch rugby live without any app, says Andy. And there as well. And also we will go like this. There we go. And also your favorite player in the New Zealand squad, I would say probably Artie Savia. Something went wrong. Please try again. I'll click it again and hope for the best. And let me know if it does one that works, because mine doesn't, says Cosmo. And no subscription, no app, are free. And it says Andy. So I believe that would be the option that a lot of people are using for the Virgin Media one. If I'm not wrong, Andy. We are just waiting for my VPN to reconnect. This is what you don't want on live subscriptions, I guess you could say, or live streams. And RTA are not doing it, says Richard there. And also, morning, David the Mod. Hope your week been good, says Nate in the chat as well. But currently just waiting for it to reconnect, ladies and gentlemen. But currently in the game, it seems like we haven't missed too much. It is currently sitting 7-7. And where can this game be streamed? It is on Virgin Media TV in the option of Ireland, if you are in Ireland. And then also alongside that, you have got the option of Supersport if you're in South Africa, is the other way that you can watch this game. But we are currently frantically trying to connect. And penalty Munster 5 meters out from the line, says Richard. So I believe, I want to say they'll take the 3, but you just never know with Munster. And it's a dollar store VPN in Hamish. It's not how you go, or not till you go overseas. You realize how bad Wi-Fi is in New Zealand. Yeah, it's not ideal at the moment, but we're going to keep on trying to reconnect. Hope for the best. Currently, it says that it's configuring. So we should be connected relatively soon, hopefully. Maybe. If we are lucky. Possibly. Fingers crossed anyway, because we got through, I'd say, about 15 minutes of the contest. And then it all just started going downhill in terms of the connection status. So hopefully this time on my phone or on my PC, one of them, hopefully will end up working. In a short moment, I think it's still configuring. This one. Fingers crossed. And also we've got the keeping our thumbs for connected. And Munster might have gotten a try. The ref is looking at it. Somebody says scrumless. Okay, so the VPN is no longer working on my PC, which is very handy, seeing as we need it. But we'll go like this again. Hope for the best. Click this one. Go down here. Click that one. Yeah, it says connection error. Cannot get through that one. I've got it almost on my phone, but it won't play. It's just sitting there as slightly half working. So we do need it on the PC. One moment. We'll go here. Go like that. We'll get the app out. It's got to get me logged into the app, even though I already logged in. So we're logging in again, I believe. And also, when you're going to wear that suit again, please, against South Africa and France. And also, we've got the think positive man machines get sense fear. And I am certainly in fear at the moment because I am worried that this is going to try and not work. Incorrect username or password. Good. I am almost at a checkmate, ladies and gentlemen, here. They have got me by the balls and they are squeezing. Interesting statement, but you know what I mean. So we need to find a way of, even though I'm signed into my VPN, I need to find a way of getting it to know that I'm signed in. So how do we do that? That's the big question. Munster lost the line out. Says Richard, we might miss a majority of this first half, unfortunately. Now we've got a connection error even just going on the VPN. Hang on. We'll go there. We'll go there. We'll go there. Hello. Welcome back. You've been missed. It says on my VPN. I was here 2 minutes ago. Log into that one. Configuring. Something went wrong. What about this one? Does it work? Not yet. And don't let them squeeze your balls like that, Irish and Zoom call Richard, says Cosmo. And also Munster now line out 22 meters out, says Richard. I might have to become South African. I might have to, no, because I still need a VPN. I might have to set myself to SuperSport and buy a SuperSport subscription to then be able to watch this game. One moment. We will try that. Because or else then we will be sitting here without any coverage. And I would be quite annoyed if that was the case. But it is, I guess, what it is. Watch South Africa versus them. We'll go here. It is all still loading. It is slowly getting there. And there's two Richards. Oh, we are both from Ireland, says Richard. And the chat as well. I'm just loading up DSTV. Very slowly. I do apologize for this, ladies and gentlemen. It was slightly out of our control, I guess you could say. We didn't realize that our VPN was going to pretty much just completely stop working, I guess is the best way of describing it. Okay, we can get past the first stage. It's just the connecting afterwards that it won't actually do. Munster 5 from the line again. Right, we're going to have to switch off Dublin, and we're going to have to set ourselves to an Afrikaan location if it loads. Or else we might have to call it quits at halftime, unfortunately, ladies and gentlemen. Not what we want to do, but it's unfortunately the case of we can't see the game, so it's very hard to do the commentary for the match. Maybe you're not pressing the buttons hard enough. Get the hammer. It's a good idea. I don't have one on me, but I'm sure I can find one. Right, we are now in Johannesburg and loading up DSTV. Hopefully. Fingers crossed. We've got to go here. Details. The members. That's the thing. I'm in the members area, but it doesn't have the option to actually log in. And Munster have scored, ladies and gentlemen. I do now see on the scoreboard number 11. So Simon Zebo able to score the try there. And Ladd, Ladd experiencing technical difficulties, says Mark. Yeah. Exactly what you don't want when you're on a live stream, I guess you could say, mainly because there's nowhere you can hide. I could try and duck off to the side, but that wouldn't work very well. But currently, pretty much, I guess I can describe what's happening on my screen. So the VPN that I was using cut out completely. The other VPN that I have isn't accepting my password or my username. So that means that I can't actually get in to then reset my location to a different location so that we can watch it. And yeah, not ideal, I guess is the best way of looking at it. So we are now frantically trying to either sign up for a new VPN or go from there. I need to look for the welcome to the 3. Yep, that's one. That might work. Right, we'll go here. We'll go like this. We'll go here. We'll go like this. Copy that. Put that there. Put that there. Username incorrect. Great. Okay. We'll put that there. And go like that. Username incorrect. Okay, good. Good. That's what we like. Username has been reset. It says. Okay, we'll keep going. We'll go like this and like that. Copy that. Open that again. I do apologize. Talk rugby. We can't see the rugby at the moment, Kian, unfortunately, because the VPN cut out. So that is what we are trying to do currently. But I can tell you that Munster scored, and it was Simon Zebo who was able to get himself one. But technical difficulties have meant we can't actually see the game. Oh, we're logged in now to a VPN. We're going to change our location to Ireland. Ladies and gentlemen, if this cuts out, we will be back in a very short moment. But I do have to click it to then be able to connect. Are we back? Can you guys see me? Maybe. Hello, everyone. If you can see me, hope you are doing well. We are now connected to a new VPN, so we will try connecting to the website again and hope for the best. We'll scroll down. Do let me know if you can see me. Right, we're loading up. Is this going to work? I really hope it does. It might be lower connection, I will mention, just because it will be trying extra hard to try and get me connected. But we are getting closer. Can see you and hear you. And your back says Finton. Although we haven't got the game back yet, by the looks of it. We are just waiting on the Autumn Nation series. And also we got the Nas says Nate. And welcome back, says George. And I appreciate the welcoming that I have had here. But hopefully the game is going to load as well. That is the main thing. We can have the game. That's all that we need to be able to continue the commentary. Hello, says Bianca. Welcome in. Hope you are doing very well. I noticed that this VPN is nowhere near as quick as the other one in terms of Wi-Fi speeds. So it may not work, sadly. Yeah, it's taken a while. It hasn't loaded yet. This is looking like a downward spiral here for us. At the moment, the scoreboard is currently 14 points to 7. So Munster have got themselves the lead. I wish I could see it, but it does seem like it's going to misbehave. A moment, we'll go here. We'll go here. A moment. And then we need that one. Okay, so I still can't connect to it through the computer, unfortunately, which means neither of my VPNs actually work, which is not really what you want when you are using VPNs, because they should be able to work. But we will we'll see whether or not we've got a different location in Ireland we can set ourselves to. No, they've only got Dublin. So we're going to connect to Dublin. We're going to refresh the page. See if we can double whammy it. Give it a combo. Doesn't seem like that's going to work. And also, Kiwi lads, turn off your VPN. You don't need it if you're using the Virgin Media app. I do not have the Virgin Media app. Oh, hang on. Right, we've got the game back. That did not take long at all, ladies and gentlemen. The connection is a bit shaky, so you may see me in about 3 pixels at the moment. But for now, 34 minutes into the game, and currently Munster sitting 14 points to 7 app. So I'm going to quickly download the Virgin Media app while we are at it. Thank you for that little bit of advice, Simon. Currently, Jack O'Donoghue getting a bit of medical attention. Virgin Media. Oh, I spelled media wrong. Is it Virgin Mobile UAE? Is that the one? Virgin Media Radio? No. Is it the Virgin Media UAE one? Simon, do let me know. But that is going to be currently only 6 minutes away from halftime. For now, it is working. I feel like I don't want to touch my PC just in case anything else happens. So we'll just sit here with our hands slightly up in the air and hope for the best. Now, 7-point difference here. South Africa won't be too happy with the way that this first half has gone so far. I don't know what happened throughout that last about 20 minutes that we didn't get to see, but hopefully we get to see some more tries scored in the time while we are watching. But Joseph Dweber about to have the line out throw. Now, his line outs are not normally very consistent, unfortunately, so this could go anywhere. And no UEA in there as well, says Simon. Okay, so I think that's the only one they've got for me here in New Zealand as the option is actually that one that I did just mention. Now the rolling ball, nice take from Jason Jenkins, I should say. Now we've got to get back into commentary mode, don't we? I've been told to use it once. Herschel Yankees about to go for the box kick here on the halfway line. No, instead actually fires it out to the backs. Going to be another run from Dupree. He's looking dangerous. So far throughout this match, they are saying that his brother will actually be coming off the bench. And would it be fun? Would it not be fun watching Damien Dialende against South Africa A side? It would be. And also, I mean, another player that they've got is possibly looking at, I mean, you could see RG Snyman, big shot there from SA, but Munster still going to just be able to hang on to the ball. Try Virgin Media player, says Richard in there. I think for now, as long as it continues working, I'm not going to try and fix anything for it because it seems like the Wi-Fi speed has also gone back up now for myself. So I think I don't want to jinx it by trying to change too much in the next little while. But Johan Horsen now inside of the half. Okay, the Wi-Fi just went back down. I jinxed it there just by mentioning it. Upper Lila Fasti not quite able to take it cleanly. Simon Zebo pushes it back up now to Haley. Tries to go through, but a good low tackle made from Jenkins. Again, it's going to be the offside advantage, I believe, now for the Munster men. In fact, no, it's a knock-on advantage now. Kick downfield. So that will be advantage over. Found a lot of open space back there, but South Africa have Johan Horsen back to try and clean it up. Finding some space in behind. Haley waits for it. And also we'll get the South Africa will win. And also our Roa Nokia doing from the first little moment that I saw him. He did look not too bad. Roa Nokia, I feel like it's between him and Jason Jenkins in terms of who makes their way back into that Springboks side. And do you think he could replace Jesse Kriel? Says Damon there for Henkel Van Vick. I think in the future we could certainly see Van Vick making his way into that South African side. Now big run from Jack O'Donoghue. Pure pace, tries to find the offload. It was forward though. And he just waited too long to be able to find the pass. Jack O'Donoghue, he knows it as well. He got a little bit selfish, maybe got a bit of white line fever. Thought he was going to score himself the try of the match. Yeah, great pace. Just waited too long to try and find the offload. I use website and VPN for free rugby. Says Andy Mike there. Kiwi woman missing a kick right out in front of the 664 at almost halftime. Says Crazy NZ. And also South Africa win, says Justin. And we are playing better than the Aussies international team, says Paul. So I guess the big question as well is who is the next game for South Africa A? I believe they've got a couple more matches, don't they? If I'm not wrong. Are they going to be playing up against, I think they've got the Bristol Bears as one of their contests. Could be an intriguing one. Oh, the kick true has just been said by the Irish commentator. I just remembered I have got Irish commentary on. Now Herschel Yankees, that looks like it's gone down in the front row. Munster win the penalty against the feed. That's a big moment because now they've got the choice of either going for the 3 points over the sticks or they could possibly go for the corner and try and really put on that pressure before the end of the first half. And also we have got there, hi, says Harry and Luck, and also New Zealand got out of the World Cup in T20. England are in the final, says Andy Mike. And what side are you watching this game, says Chad? So I've got a VPN hooked up and I am watching it on Virgin Media Television.ie. So Virgin Media 2, I believe it is called. But yeah, so I've set myself to the Irish location and also give that Virgin Media player as the name in the App Store, says Simon Hughes. Is it available in New Zealand? I guess is the other question. Oops, I just almost deleted my apps. Now going to be thrown in by Ireland, so going aggressive. Nice take from O'Donoghue, and the rolling maul starts up now for Munster. You can hear the crowd really trying to push them forward. A few of the backs joining in as well. Still rolling, still going. Munster are over, and they get themselves another try. And for anyone who thought it was going to be an easy win for SAA, they will be rethinking that statement, because Munster have come to play. Munster try, and also got to say, Hamish Pakistan played some super cricket against New Zealand. They have some lethal bowlers. They certainly did. They're a great side, and I'm looking forward to seeing them face off against England in the final. I feel like that will be an intriguing one. That is a nice rolling maul, fresh joined in, Scannell as well. Everyone pretty much all in there trying to get it to go forward, and also try Munster, says Grumley. So they will now be sitting on 19 points to 7 in this contest. I have Virgin Media Radio is one of the options for us here in New Zealand, but other than that, it seems to be just Virgin Media Radio. Is that the one? It says it's just music, though. There's a great try for Munster there. Hooker goes in, gets it. None other than Baron. And now with the rain starting to fall a little bit heavier, Munster will certainly be enjoying having a 14-point buffer, possibly going into halftime. There's only another 25 seconds left or so of the half. So I think he'll be taking his time here. And also 21-7. And the best rugby players in the world are Irish. I don't care what anyone says Richard. And that one has gone over. 21 points to 7. So still a little bit of time left in the first half. But Munster have done brilliantly in this game. And you'd have to say second half is going to be tough for SA15. It is going to be definitely, the wind's going straight sideways. And you can see the rain going across the USVPN. It is not easily open, says Andy. And also we get that Munster says Connor. And also there's something magical about listening to commentary. Leaves lots to the imagination. Exciting. Thanks to you absolutely fabulous Kiwi lads, says Ruth in there. Thank you very much, Ruth. Hugely appreciated. You guys tuning in. I'm just glad I can do the commentary now without it cutting in and out like it was a bit earlier on. But it's the penalty to South Africa here. They've got the option of the 3 points if they want to get a little bit closer, or they could go for the corner. Okay, Carl Dixon is just saying that he might have made a little mistake. Okay. So now 5 or 10 meters out. In fact, it's going to be from the line. SAA have got another opportunity. I'm worried about Joseph Dweber's throw. South Africa 5 meters out. And can you say, Amish says, Connor? No, they're at a park. I think that might be the first part. Is it? Or is it park? That first part. So proud of Munster. Just wondering, is this the same Munster club in the URC because they're on a roll? It certainly is. And they had a rough start to their season in the URC, but then from there, they've slowly gone upwards. And we've got to remember, no Peter O'Mahony for this game, no Joey Carberry, no Craig Casey. They're missing some of their keys, and they're still really pushing this SA side. But if South Africa can score themselves a try now, then maybe, just maybe, they have got more momentum. That is going down in the front of the rolling maul. Joseph Dweber tries to pierce his way around the side. It's going to be knocked out of his hands, but it's a penalty advantage. Go ahead and try. And also we get Parky Quiv in there. And a spiritual home. England game or English games were banned for a long time. So it's a special moment when rugby teams come to play on them. And also fantastic defence, Munster, says Richard. And Munster actually haven't been playing well in the USC South Africa team. Probably majorly confused, says Bianca. Yeah, a lot of people in this game pretty much ended up saying South Africa would steamroll them, I think were the comments that we heard. But we said from the start, Munster are a side that when they've got the home crowd behind them, if this game was played in South Africa, a whole different story. But because they've got about 41,000 people cheering them on, they're going to keep on going and going and going for the full 80. The game is 10 minutes away from me. I can only find the live score from you, says X-Late TV. So that's the thing. You'll probably, 10 minutes away, maybe a little bit far to hear the noise, but it wouldn't be too far off. Would I? And say it 5 more times. That's Connor. And there's the Park Equiv. And also, that sounds like a naughty word in American English. And damn, missing keys are playing Doug, or player Doug, to international duty. Solid Munster. And halftime now says Richard. It looks like South Africa once again will be kicking this one into touch. We've currently been running long in this first half, I should say. Ranokia getting hit in the head. That is what the penalty was for. I call them ball crunches, Hamish. Keep positive, says Ruth. And there as well, Joseph Weber throws it in. It was relatively straight. Now the rolling maul for SA. They are only a couple meters out from the line. The ball's come out the back, bouncing out the side. It's going to be knocked backwards and just kicking this one into touch for Munster. In fact, kicks it back infield. Decides he want to keep playing, but it is going to roll out. And that will now be halftime in this fixture. What a game we have got opening up here, ladies and gentlemen. It is going to be 21 points to 7 in favour of the Munster men. Great first half. HD with Supersport Grandstand has a clear stream, says Xeb. And also we've got there come on Munster, says Connor. And the chat as well. But brilliant start. Like I mentioned, South Africa, they scored the second try of the game, but the first one was scored by Munster. And then they went back-to-back with a couple more tries. Wowza, says Chad. And the chat, and also we've got their fantastic first half, says Richard. I call them the ball crunch of the VPN to the rescue eventually, says Scrumlass. Yeah, although it has now frozen. Oh, no, it's come back. I'm not going to refresh the page because I know that will cause a lot of issues for myself, more than likely. And also we have got there. Okay, I just got about 17 notifications from my VPN, just back to back, which was interesting. And also, I'll be celebrating tonight if we win. Munster showing the Saffers that expected a walkover. They are getting one, not how they wanted it. And also, they couldn't have predicted this, but Munster have a history of turning over New Zealand and Australia. See, here's a river power. That's the thing. It's a massive game because Munster, when they're down and out, that's when they play their best rugby. Like we saw it in the URC. They were playing the Bulls, I believe it was, that contest. And everyone was like, the Bulls are going to roll over Munster once again, because Munster haven't been in the best form. And Munster came out and played one of their best games of the URC season. And the best that we've seen them play in a long time. And everyone was just like, where'd that come from? And that's probably going to be what we see in this game as well. That's the thing. South Africa, though, they've certainly got the potential of being able to fire back. Worried about the second half, however, says Paul. Although the weather may make it a little bit harder to score in quick succession. Although we did see South Africa, right at the end of that first half, have quite a few attempts just out from in front. And also, mate, you need to go back in time and watch previous Munster games against international sides, says Connor Cahill. And the chat as well, but they are just saying that the programming will resume shortly. And also, hey, Katie Pie, says Obi, and also seen them all, says River Power in there. But I am going to quickly check the TAB and see whether or not they had the betting odds for this contest at halftime, because if they did, it'll be an interesting one to see how they actually rank both sides, because you'd think South Africa A would be heavy underdogs, but I don't see them being any more than maybe like $4 underdogs, if I had to predict. So Rugby League is live at the moment. And of course, that's the women's game between New Zealand and Australia. But no, they don't actually have it for this matchup, which is probably fair enough, because some people may have lost a lot of money if they did have it as a betting back-to-back. But we did see some nice territory kicking early on from Munster. Apalele Fassi, all he could do was kick it back into the hands of the Munster men, and then they would attack with that back three. I've also been calling it as well. Any Corkonians here? Munster should play more games at the park. You Quev, I believe was the name, wasn't it? Yeah, halftime in this one. It should be an entertaining second half, I would think. And I do hope that my coverage stays for the full 40 minutes. We may be slightly behind at some stages throughout the matchup. I will mention, like maybe by 30 seconds or a minute, but I guess it is better than it completely cutting out. So it might be the way that we have to go. But for South Africa to get back into this contest, first of all, you just need to do the little things right, such as the handling errors. They don't want too many of those. And South Africa A not taking this, says Enzel there. And Paki Quev and there. And also we've just says Scrumlass there. And for Corkman here, says Paul. Quite similar to that, isn't it, Scrumlass? For the pronunciation, Munster will be able to repeat their famous win over the Māori All Blacks. 2016 is actually what they have got there on the screen. So it's been a while since we've seen Munster take on a side at this kind of level. And it seems like they do it every weekend, the way that they've been going. And I mean, I want to say we're going to see a lot more of Munster in the second half with a lot more attack because they've got Scannell off the bench, Liam O'Connor, Keenan Knox, I should say, Kean Hurley, Alex Kendallin, Neil Cronin, Patrick Campbell, and Malachi Fekatoa. I'm interested to see when they will decide to use him. And also we've got the South Africa A not taking the chances is Janlu Brand. And then also for the South Africans, while we're at it, we might as well mention who they have got off their bench. And it's going to be Andre Hugo Fenta, Sifives Matanzima, Sazi Sandi, Daniel Duprea, Notshare, Grant Williams, Saneli Nohamba, and also Gianni Lombard. The other man there. I need a better second half, says Jan Lebrun. Yeah. The momentum was definitely not one that South Africa were able to really firmly grasp in that first half, I guess is the best way of describing it. So the next matchup that they have got coming up in the near future is going to be their game up against the Bristol Bears. That is to be confirmed, but then they are actually going to be taking on someone on apparent. Okay, that's a bit weird. It says that the other game for South Africa A is going to be up against NEW. Is the name there, NEW, taking place, kicking off at 5:31 a.m. on the 8th of July. So I'm not too sure what game that was supposed to be, but it hasn't happened. And I don't think it will. And also Tino Pai says Nate there. Yeah, Munster in this game currently sitting 21 points to 7. The next game for Munster, I believe, is actually going to be in the URC. If I'm not wrong there. We'll just quickly have a look. Yeah, the next game is going to be up against Connacht, and that has taken place in about 15 days' time. And hell yes, Connor, especially since they upgraded it, says Paul. And also, we have got their way to go, Munster. They're playing like monsters tonight. You're going to try the old-fashioned telephone line, SOS. Anybody out there, Mayday, says Ruth. But yeah, at the moment, South Africa, the one good thing is they won't give up. In the second half, we hear someone on I think it's the accordion at the moment, absolutely tearing it up for the local viewers. I mean, I've got my guitar, which I haven't actually played the South African national anthem, so maybe that's why they're playing not ideally. See how this goes. It went quite well. That went better than anticipated. I'm happy now. And I was like, here we go, says Nazi Williams, and I'm officially going to England for the final. God save the Queen. Oh, going for England in the final. God save the King, says Obi. So you have decided, I assume that's for the cricket, Obi, or are you going for them in the women's? What, he did that, y'all. And it was a guitar moment, says Nate. And there was also, while we're at it, I realized we were talking about it right at the time of everything cutting out. So 20,000 subscribers special. I saw some of you guys wanted a vlog. Is reacting to very, very old Kiwi Lads videos. We're talking like 2017 Kiwi Lads. Is that something you guys would also be interested in seeing? Well, Amish, they sounded so bad. South Africa 15 are definitely losing now. Probably. And the thing is, that was the best that I've played it. So that tells you everything that you need to know. And Cricket Mate says Obi. And also better than Saturday. Anyway, that was shocking. Yeah, I really butchered it on Saturday, didn't I? I panicked. I have to say, Simple Rugby works. What a match. And we can see you, Kiwi Lads. Says a roof there. And I was like, who well played, New Zealand top talent. And morning, Amish, hope you're doing well. I am. We've been able to sort out our connection issue. Kind of. We are still streaming in only like one bar rather than three, but it's going all right. And yes, all the extra old stuff, says Graham Lads. And also, you are the best, says Rudy. Do appreciate that a lot, mate. And you are too. And a Munster win, and we complete the set. We have beaten New Zealand, Australia. The New Zealand Māori just missing a win over the Box, says Mountains of Asylum. And just saw your comment, Obi, I'm wondering if England sings God Save the King now. They do. It was weird hearing it the first time. I believe the first time we heard it was actually in a women's rugby match between England and someone, I think it was, that they did end up singing it for the first time. And I was like, next time they play Leinster, has to be at the park, says a River there. And they have got CJ Stander. He'll be a little bit split in terms of who he's going for in this contest, I would think. But like they're saying, Munster, they'll be very happy with what has happened for the first half. What the hell happened to South Africa A, says Ken. I think they would just decide that a lot of people may have been a bit too, not confident in. But at the end of the day, like, they're a side that's just been put together. They've got 4 different clubs all trying to play as one rugby union side. It was always going to be a little bit of a chemistry building exercise. And I think Munster's chemistry has really shone through in that first half. If Munster keep their heads, they will make history. And what's South Africa A doing wrong that they're losing by this much? I missed the first half. I missed half of the first half as well, mate. But I would say they're just not really taking the opportunities. Like, they've been down to the 5-metre line multiple times, but they haven't been able to get that rolling ball try. So maybe trying a couple different things, such as getting it out the back line, and just see whether or not that side of things can kind of work. Did someone hack the poll? Fake news, says Paul in there. I assume it's a majority going for South Africa A, isn't it? More than likely. And also, we have got God Save Charlie's Ears, says River Power, and the chat as well. I think George was going to come around today. I might have to message him and find out what he is up to. I think we were going to be doing some filming. We'll see what happens there. But yeah, it would be great to have Isaac in that video as well for our 20K subscriber special. We haven't really, like I mentioned, we didn't really plan it because we didn't realize we'd hit it this quickly. Although we've still got, I would say, a good month and a bit or so. No, or yeah, maybe a month to be able to plan it out. And also we got this ukulele. It was like angel wings on my ears, says Rudy there. And by the way, Richard too, is anyone an Ireland show on Leinster versus Chile next week on the 18th? I didn't even know that was a match that was taking place. But hopefully RTE pick it up. Or not RTE, either RTE or Virgin Media Player, one of the two, are able to get the game for everyone. Because that's the thing. I enjoyed the one that was Māori All Blacks versus Ireland A. The fact that they showed it on YouTube. Raymond says, stop this fake news nonsense. South Africa A must be in the lead. Not with the way that they played, mate. They had a rough first half, unfortunately. But second half, I think they're going to do a lot better. So they might end up getting more points in the second half than Munster does. But for now, they will be definitely sitting in the changing rooms not too happy with their performance. Munster outplayed them big time in that first half. But we'll have to wait and see how the second half goes. Of course, a rugby game is 2 40-minute halves. They've had a rough first, but maybe the second could be when they can turn it around. Or SA 15. And the thing is, I'm not too sure who they're going to bring off the bench to really change the momentum. Maybe you could go with the second Dupuria brother. How's Joseph Dweber's line-out throws? They've been all right overall. I don't think he's been pinged for too many knots straight throughout that first half, so that is always a bonus for Joseph Dweber. I think they need to get their backline involved more, though, because Henko van Wyk, in the first 15 minutes of their half, in the last kind of 5 to 10 minutes that we did get to see when we weren't having internet issues, he was not really that prominent. Ledley and Zuss out on the wing, maybe get it out to him. And I was he'll never beat me at home, says Richard. And I was a happy face from T7. And I think a lot of people will have a happy face very soon as the second half just about to get underway between these two sides once again. But it is raining. It is pouring. The old man is not snoring because it is currently 9:30 a.m. here in New Zealand. So it's not a bad time to have a game of rugby. But it's going to be the rain and wind factor that's really going to test out SA 15. They'll have to see whether or not they can get that momentum, try and force the mistakes of Munster like they did near the end of the half. They forced a couple penalties in their favour. And pork and coleslaw sandwich, anyone? Says Nancy Williams. I heard the local grocery shop here aren't doing coleslaw anymore because it's like $8 for a cabbage. Quite a bit, isn't it? And also the only king I worship is Elvis Presley. I'm sure he will be thinking, thank you very much. I can't do any Elvis songs on guitar that I know of. I could probably play one if I knew the chords and whatnot. And let's go, boys, says Rudy. And also we have an interesting bench potential for the second half, says Paul in there as well. So yeah, both sides, it's going to be about timing, when to bring them off the bench and when to just leave the players out there a little bit longer. But they're showing Munster SA 15. It's going to be an exciting second half. Even though it is absolutely pouring, they are just showing there on Virgin Media too. They are actually showing Ireland versus Fiji and then Ireland versus Australia the week after. Is anyone, is there another one of those nursery rhymes with a real sinister meaning? Because the old man snoring never got up in the morning. Remember, I mean, do you have a brain bleed? Says Scrumless, maybe. It's a bit of a double-edged sword, isn't it? And hopefully Gianni Lombard Comes on now, says Bianca. And who scored for South Africa, says Luke. So the one try that we did see for the South Africans. Oh, CJ Stunder is just running down the wing as well. He might be keen to get himself back out on the field. But yeah, South Africa's one try in their half. My brain has just gone slightly blank, so I've got to try and think of who it was. Who scored the try? Did they score while I was watching? I think they did. Why can I not remember who scored the South African try? One moment. We're going to have to go like this and look at the lineup very quickly. Who got the try? Okay, now it's logged me out of my thingy that tells me things. And also, you're the best ukulele artist of all time. A half-time whistle is no gone, buddy. And remember to like this channel, says George the man. If you haven't already, be sure to leave a like and subscribe. It is hugely appreciated. We are just about into the second half. And I believe it will be the Munster men kicking it off to get us underway. Like they're saying, they will be playing into the breeze this half, Munster, so that will make it a little bit more challenging for them. Shouldn't be too much of a trouble. I love when people underestimate Ireland at all levels. We love it. Says the Irish one. Yeah, I believe the comments that I saw at the start were that they were going to get steamrolled, Munster, in this matchup. But it has been anything but a steamrolling. If anything, it's almost been a steamrolling the other way. Kicked him behind now from Munster. A little bit of a partial charge down, but Apalele Fassi does get onto that ball now, breaking his way through. And I was like, Apalele Fassi scored for South Africa. Didn't he? He scored out on the wing. Now it has refreshed my memory. He scored out on the right-hand side. I'm amazed to see Munster playing so well. I actually believe we can win, says JD. Now it's kicked high. The up and under. Nicely taken by Mike Haley. He's cleaned it up. Thomas Detoy wrestles it down, but Munster on the halfway line. Paddy Patterson goes across to the short side here. Good tackle made by Ruan Nokia. And Munster, I think their backline has been a lot better in this game as well. Nice short ball. Another offload. Still going on the outside. I don't know whether or not Haley was supposed to take that one. But he did decide that it was his for the taking and does hit it up at the line once again. Now, try scorer. Raking his way forward. Nice wide cutout pass for Munster. As they look down the wing, still trying to continue this attack. Hodnick down the short side. Paddy Patterson does the chip and chase. It's going to be a foot race. He's got plenty of place. Paddy Patterson, he jumps on it, and he's got it beautifully. Brilliant work from the young fly half. The young scrum half. Great shot from Machunu there. A lot of pressure, but Munster has still managed to just clean up. And I believe if that man didn't jump on the ball, it would have definitely been a turnover. Now Adogbo goes forward. He's the future for this Munster side, that is for sure. They've got to lock him into a very long contract at some point. It sounds like a Samoan name, that Fussy, says Nazi Williams there as well. Munster now going off to the right-hand side. You can hear the crowd chanting for Munster. McDonald has the carry now. Patterson, little grubber in behind. If it sits up, Healy, does he get it down? Or did he blow the opportunity? He thinks he scored. Fired up beyond belief. And that's going to make the score 26 points to 7 now. Try Munster, says Richard. And Wells, says Finton. And also, he was still drunk from the night before, says Obi in there. And also, bad enough the South African A side lost to Ireland. Now it's just embarrassing for them to lose to Munster, says Wilson. But brilliant work from Paddy Patterson. He jumped all over that ball. Didn't allow anyone to have the opportunity of taking it. That was great work there from McDonald to notice that Machunu was going to be trying to go round the side of the breakdown, create that turnover. He pretty much jumped on the ball and would not let go. And great try from Mike Haley. Slams it down alongside his front teeth on the turf. If I did that, you'd have a couple rows to be able to plant seeds in. But Mike Haley done brilliantly there to get that ball down. Yeah, he's got one hand on that one. And also we have got there, did a tremendous job for the Irish rugby in general. Ireland's young crops coming through with the boys and girls in Ireland. And it's almost a hiding in 28-7 now, says Richard. And also tried to try Munster. And yes, says totally there. And also, South Africa lose. I'm going to get day drunk. Ski, says D7. Well, you might have to start drinking soon, unfortunately. And 28-7, that's the beautiful stuff. Or this is beautiful stuff. Now it's kicked. And it's successful. 28 points to 7. Munster leading over South Africa A. And the media, I think in South Africa, are not going to be happy with the way that this matchup has been going. Because 28-7 at this point is not even really a close game. That's 3 tries difference. That's a bonus point if we're playing in the URC. So So the South African sides, they really, or this side in particular, they really need to find their feet in this game, but they haven't been able to find it just yet. And also the sad face from Chad. Although this weekend, South Africa up against France, they'll certainly be hoping to put on the big performance. The ball from the homeboys, AAA, says got a shine. And there. And also for crying out loud, Rev, I'm a Munster man, but that was not a try, says Connor Kale. And what is happening to South Africa, says my Erasmus. Yeah, it just doesn't seem like they're quite finding their momentum in this contest. And Munster have just been very good with their crisp backline passing, which I believe is something we see a majority of the time from Leinster, from Munster, from Ireland, Ulster, Connacht. They all have that crisp, quick hands. And how can the TMO miss that? So I guess, like, maybe they just didn't want to. They didn't want to listen to TMO. I guess in South Africa is getting a beating like a stepchild. And also South Africa will beat this, or New Zealand A will beat the South Africa A side easily, right? Says Nazi Williams. Maybe. I'd love to see that match. Why not make it happen? New Zealand 15 versus South Africa 15. While they're both up there, they might as well play. And also no combination tackles, boys. And there one moment, we'll go like this. And we will go like that. I tried to tell BK Sport that Munster are a different beast when history can be made. No listening, says Paul. And as well, but it seems like Herschel Yankee's actually going to be going off the field now. The prayer has also made his way out onto there. And also, it's time for a comeback for South Africa, says D7. And Munster is winning. Yes, says Totally Lemon. They certainly are. 28 points to 7 at the moment. The coverage has gone slightly more blurry for myself, which makes me concerned because last time it did that was just before it cut me off from my VPN. But I hope that's not going to be the case in this situation. Passing it into the player, and that is going to be the offside penalty in favour of South Africa. Now, South Africa. Oh, sorry, that was actually, Joseph Dweber given the penalty. As that a bonus try for Munster, says, nay, it would be if we were on the URC. They would have themselves a bonus point at the moment. I was hoping the score would be 19-16 to Munster, says X-Lake TV. Now, option to kick this one into touch for Ben Healy. Hasn't found it, though. South Africa, they will be able to regather this one on their own 22. Johan Hurson kicks it downfield, and it does end up going into touch. It's going to be about 40 metres out from the line now for Johan Hurson. Not happy at all with that kick. Wanted to get a lot more meterage on it, but you'd have to say he'd be more happy with that kick than the Munster man was with his kick, as that one wasn't actually able to find the touchline, and the ball has been given up now. Yeah, I believe they've got 2 replacement halfbacks. They've got Nohamba, and they've also got Grant Williams. And also Silly Munster don't get cocky, says Richard. And as now it's going to be nicely taken. Munster sitting there just inside of their own half, firing it back across to Jack O'Donoghue in the midfield, 40 metres out from the line now. Across to the right. In fact, they're going to go with a bit of a set play here. Great hands there, although I think it was slightly dropped there. And G-Man would have loved this game. What do you think? And there says Richard Hodie. I mean, he would have been loving the South Africa season, that is for sure. For the Rugby Championship and pretty much any game of rugby that happens, Gareth Mason was always the guy who was probably happiest about it as well. So rest in peace to him. It's been crazy to think that it's almost been around 9 months or so, I believe, or something along those lines. Of yo, it's my boy Joe Dweber doing his thing. Says Sight and also G-Man RP, says X8 TV. And also, we will get there. Do you watch much football? I do watch a little bit, but at times it is hard to squeeze in, I guess, watching it as well as the rugby, just because it does overlap a little bit normally. The ball's been fed in by Grant Williams. Now going off to the left-hand side. Pierces himself here, Grant Williams. Let's give it off to Johanna Hurson. Now 35 metres out from the line. It's going to be another knock-on from South Africa, which is the last thing that they wanted. Is going to be advantage still, and they're going back for the scrum. And also we have got their Hamish Hope ball as well. It is indeed, mate. We have had technical difficulties on this live stream, but they seem like they have now disappeared, which is great news for us. So I think G-Man will want another beer right now. Says it's Graham Lesson. Also, you calling it Izzy Pereira on Sunday, bro. Says Nazi Williams. It may be during our sleeping hours, unfortunately. But maybe. We'll see how we're going. And are you going to watch the Rugby League World Cup tomorrow? Says Ollie, we certainly are. So we have actually got plans tomorrow. First of all, we are going to be doing the matchup between New Zealand versus Australia. That is at about 8:30 a.m. And then from there, we are actually going to be playing real-life cricket, believe it or not. Not for the channel or anything, just because the local team is short. So I have to put on the pads for the first time in about 10 years and play. And then after that, we will be coming back for the England versus New Zealand game. South Africa having to clean that one up, and it is actually going to be going back for another advantage. And then, we've got the games throughout the night as well. And also, Joseph Dweever needs a lot of work. His line-out throws are nowhere near as accurate as he needs them to be, unfortunately. And his discipline also lets him down, to be honest. That is another thing. And yep, you sure have had experience dealing with technical difficulties. You're well all prepared. Says not everyday coach, just no nice. If we're cricketing game, says scrum mates, I'll probably go out for 0 and probably will go for a lot of runs. But we'll see how it goes. Are you planning on collaborating with 2 Cents Rugby or Squitch Rugby? We have talked to 2 Cents in the past. I think it's just more finding the right video to collaborate on. And that is the tough part. Working out exactly what we need and take a little footage of you betting do good content, says Nuzzy Williams. So the team's quite a mix. I believe the oldest player on the team is about 50-something, and then the youngest player on the team is probably like maybe 14. So it's quite a spread. But I think we're going to be playing with 9 by the sounds of it. I don't think there's actually a full 11 players. And good luck tomorrow, says Ollie. I will need it. And it's miserable from a South African perspective. Says not everyday cultist. Yeah, it has certainly not gone the way that a lot of South African supporters were anticipating. Now going off to the short side, Paddy Patterson fires it back across instead. And once again, that backline of Munster as Chris is going to be kicked downfield. Can they take the mark? They can take the mark. That was a weird one. Lillian Zassi caught it from a fly kick that we saw from Munster. And could you do an All Black lineup prediction video for the All Blacks? Says, or you could do a lineup prediction video for the All Blacks. Says, Ollie, we have actually already done one earlier on in the week, Ollie. It has already been up on the channel for about 2 days or so. Are you a batter or a bowler? Back when I was playing, I was just anything that they needed. So I was mainly a wicket keeper, but then I'd also bowl spin or pace, depending on what they needed at the time. And then also I just bat wherever they put me in the order, pretty much. Also, we have got the Israel Adesanya. Says he's bringing the mana, says Nate. And also, I missed most of the game. How's it been so far? Anyone playing with flair? I've liked O'Donoghue in this game. He has been pretty impressive. And also Mike Haley at the back seems to be quite a dangerous aspect for the Munster men, but we always knew he was going to be. Simon Zebo also getting himself a try throughout this game. With 2 cents, says Ollie. And there is, we'll see how it goes. It might be instead a bit of a review of the season or something like that. And I am says coming pitch welcome in, and also South Africa giving up the big number 2 going off. Who's going to score the first try of the second half? Munster too powerful for South Africa, says Roof. So I would say, I think South Africa are going to get themselves the next try of the second half. Of course, we've already seen 1 try scored by Munster. Nice run from Jean-Luc Dupré. Nice run for once again. Back across. Little flick pass. Now all he needs is 1 more. No, he didn't find the pass on the outside to Hudson Berg. I don't think I've said that name once so far throughout the commentary, but 22 metres out from the line. South Africa 15. Looking to attack once again. Going off to the side. Johanna Hoosen tried to find the kick. Didn't quite get it though. And they have still got this ball. South Africa. Grant Williams going off to the right-hand side. Tries to pick the gap that wasn't really there. McDonald sits him down. Now still just available for SA around the side of the breakdown. Once again, it seems like the pick and go is one of the preferences for South Africa here in this contest. So they continue to do it, and also put a GoPro in your helmet for us, Hamish. I don't actually own a GoPro, sadly. That would be an interesting one, to have a GoPro. I don't know, it would be quite cool to be able to do maybe eventually. But now a nice run forward. I know that Daniel has a GoPro, but I don't know how keen he would be on me mounting it to a cricket helmet with a chance that it could get hit. And can you point the camera at the TV, says Richard. Sadly, due to licensing, any match footage does get you taken straight down. And even though my coverage is currently about 4 pixels, they'd still probably pick up what it is, sadly. So I do apologise for that. But if you are in Ireland, Richard, you can actually watch it on virginmediatelevision.ie completely for free. That's the website that you will be able to find it. That was a bit of a cheap clean out from Machunu, and I think that's what the crowd are saying, but currently 10 metres out from the line still for South Africa A. Williams goes off to the short side. Now Apalele Fassi tries to break his way through. At the moment, Munster's defence is just not leaking any metres at this stage. Still 10 metres out. Munster get over the ball, but I believe they're going back for the initial penalty advantage. And like they're saying, a lot of penalties against Munster. They're going to have to watch that discipline a little bit here. And also South Africa, tackle South Africa, no arms, Munster penalty. And also we have got there, have a point on of bitter for me. Thanks, says Ruth. And also, cheers, Hamish. Hope you have a good one. Good luck for tomorrow, says Not Your Everyday Cultist. Yeah, I'm sure I'll let you guys know exactly how badly or good I play when we do end up tomorrow doing our streams. And also, Fassi is excellent on attack, but his defense really needs some work. What do you think? Yeah, he does struggle on the defensive side of things, Apalele Fassi. And I think that could be down to the fact that he doesn't know whether or not he's playing 15 or 14 in a lot of the games. Kind of ends up, I guess, slotting in as both. But I think they need to really pick one position, say, this is yours. That's where we're going to play you no matter what. And then at least if they do that, he'll have a bit more of an idea of what he's supposed to be doing, whereabouts he's supposed to be standing. But now Ruanokia, I think he's gone back onto the field. That is actually for Duprea. I believe there's going to be an HIA. And Simon Zebo off the field. And Campbell is making his way onto the park. So Simon Zebo, another solid game from the veteran. And who is your favourite fullback? Oh, around the world, that's a tough one because there's many good fullbacks. Isn't there? I'm just thinking through all the sides. So you've got, of course, I mean, you got Geordie Barrett, you got Will Jordan, Willie LaRue. Who else is fullback for South Africa? I guess you could say to an extent Damian Valimza plays a little bit of fullback. The Aussies have got Hodge and a bit of Callaway. France have got Jaminier. He's certainly a good option. Ireland, you're looking at maybe a Hugo Keenan. I'm just listing all the fellas that I can think of. Lee Halfpenny for Wales, bit of a throwback there if you went with someone like him. What other teams have I missed? Not too sure. Couple teams, of course. Oh. Okay, Carl Dixon just saying that's your second warning now. Sort it out. Pretty much what he said. And a ref, come on. You're not born in South Africa, man, says Richard. And also Fassi plays at 14.5, says Cited. And are the South Africans preparing their complaints video yet, says Richard. Depends on the result, I guess. Urundel says, Scrum, said, try for South Africa, says Richard. And also, what are your thoughts on Joseph Dweber? Needs a lot of work before he makes it back to international level. He's still got a lot of gaps in that game, a lot of cracks in the foundation. But if he can somehow keep on getting through them, the hard thing is to get through them, you've got to have game time. But to have game time, you've got to be playing well. And he's not really playing well. So it's going to be tricky for them to keep him in there. New Zealand woman 8, Oz woman 6 just saying, says Nazi Williams, so not doing too bad for the Kiwis there by the sound of it. Now will be available. Grant Williams goes off to the short side. Nice little wraparound play out to Hudson-Berg. His foot was close to the line, but I believe it's going to be a try maybe. Keep your eye on that young pup. He's good, says Scrumlass there. And also they never make one if they lose, says Richard. And also they never make one if they lose. Or because this is South Africa A though, it doesn't actually affect the world rankings. Is that what you talk? They never make one if they win, Richard has said there. And also, Amos, you and your guitar, keep rocking, wonderful stuff. Says Roof. Oh, that foot's in the touchline, I believe, for him, unfortunately. And also, we get the try for South Africa. And also, we have got their Phil Money Lebok win this game for us against France, says Luke. And also, touch, says Vinton. So, Hudson-Berg, one of the first times we have mentioned that man's name. And unfortunately for him, it is in the case of saying that he almost had a try, but then ended up with the foot going into touch. They're saying a 21-point cushion at the moment for the Munster men. Baron going to be going off the field. Scannell's on, and also the front row replacements have been making their way on the field as well. And also Paul was in touch just before the touchdown. Dweeb always blames everyone else for his mistakes, says Bianca. Yeah, and I think it's the case of taking credibility as well. Like, he always blames the line out for his wonky throw. He says, oh, you guys didn't jump right. But it's like, mate, if you're going to throw it 5 meters that way, it's always going to be hard to jump right. That's a bit of an exaggeration. He only throws it 4 meters that way. It's going into touch. for the Munster member. The territory game so far playing for South Africa, it has been all inside of the half of Munster, and we are certain to be world number one for at least till February, says Richard. And also, Dan, this is a shambles for the Box B team compared to New Zealand A playing well, says Crazy NZ. And by the way, Kiwis leading 8-6, almost 60th minute close game, says Crazy NZ. And Joseph just needs to learn to use his size as well. He's bloody huge, but is falling or failing in the basics, says T7. Yeah, it's just that discipline. Being that big, but knowing when to use it. And how do you feel on the Elton Yankee situation? Of course, I haven't really read too far into it. I know that the dietitian and him got friendly at one point, I think is the rumor. See, I don't even know if that's confirmed, but to be honest, he was always a player that 50% of South Africa didn't mind and 50% of South Africa really didn't like. So at least this way, it seems to be Mani Lebok is a little bit more of the people's player, if that makes sense. A lot more people want to see him in the side. Let's go, Kiwi girls. Smash them Aussies, says Nate. And there's now the rolling ball for the SA-15. They have been told to use it once, but the ball is available at the back for Honre Hugo Fenta. Looks like Grant Williams now going off to the left-hand side. Going to be Cornell Hendricks. Quiet game for him as well, to be honest. Elton confirmed 2 days ago he cheated on his wife. I feel for the guy, says T7. I mean, I can understand why you would feel for the guy, but then at the end of the day as well, there's still similar to what we're saying about Joseph Dweber, there's still got to be like that kind of responsibility aspect. Like, I don't want to get too in depth, but I was going to say, like, she wasn't the one, like his wife wasn't the one who put something somewhere, you know? Now, 22 minutes left in this game. Of course, I'm talking about himself in a bad situation for putting things somewhere. Obviously. And let's go Kiwis. And also we have there, Dwebbs is not up to scratch even by URC standards. And we were let down by his dodgy throws. CS side, another big run forward for SA. Now Grant Williams gives it back to the prayer. Once again, Munster. They need to make sure they don't give away another penalty, or else they will end up maybe with a man in the bin. Now, Williams round the side. Another great tackle made by Munster. Apalele Fasi decides he wants to try and fend off Ruan Nokia there when he was going around the side. Oh, that was close for Munster, but they weren't able to get it. Grant Williams now goes down again. Odogbo goes over the ball, trying to get the turnover, not able to. South Africa just hanging on for as long as physically possible, or the Munster defence, I should say. Now, inside ball from Grant Williams, the prayer. Now trying to break through the line here once again. Williams goes back to Sunday. Can Munster make their way through? That's the big question. Or can South Africa make their way through? Or will Munster's defence be able to hold up? Odogbo once again goes for the ball. Williams going across to the left-hand side. Almost through for Dan du Preez. 2 meters short of the line. Munster calling for reinforcements onto his back. He's tried to roll over. Not quite able to. Still just waiting for that opportunity. I believe they're up to about 15 phases. Oh. Okay. I think South Africa wanted to say that was a try. Maybe. And also we have got there speaking by Navish and his wife put what and what, says Casey and Z. And also a mouse ran past my cat in the kitchen. Punk just stood there. He probably got caught off guard, didn't he? South African forwards a bit tired. Says Chad there, short no try. Says it was Chad there. I can't believe that Island International Rugby, World Rugby #1 indeed though, Hamish, says Patrick. And also we're there. Okay, let's see. And also I wonder what Rassi will have to say about this tonight. Nothing good, I bet. Who to blame though? That's the thing. Like, their players in this game, for South Africa 15, if I had to look through the lineup and decide who has played the best rugby for their side, you know, you struggle to see players who are actually stepping up beyond the rest of the team, if that makes sense. Like, I'd say Jason Jenkins or Ruan Nokia, one of those two, haven't had a terrible game. Thomas de Toy's been solid. The backline, though, I don't think there's anyone in the backline who's really lit themselves on fire and said, here I am. This is like my pretty much resume, my CV to go into the Springboks. Because I don't think we've really seen that. Henko van Wyk, he's been extremely quiet. I know he is a player with a lot of hype around the way that he has been playing, but it doesn't seem that he's really been able to do too much in this contest. And also, maybe the Munster are winning their match indeed, though. Says Patrick, and also we have got there. Okay, y'all, I got to scoot to the doctor's appointment. Go Munster, have a good one, everyone, says Scrum Lassie too. hope you do enjoy the rest of your day. I think it's the daytime over there, isn't it? And cheers, Hamish, another great commentary. Has got to go. I take my little ones to school before my missus do a Aussie Hucker version. Is Nate. And there is no worries, mate. We will see you later on, maybe for the Rugby League tomorrow morning between New Zealand and Australia. Right, they're looking at double movement here to see whether or not there is a try. I believe he was initially short. Okay. They think he's being driven over with the ball. Okay, it's a 5-meter attacking scrum for South Africa here. So that will mean that Munster still have to try and defend just a little bit longer. Hamish, you'll see me soon playing for the Stormers, says Luke in there. And yeah, it's 2 p.m. here, says it was Katie. And also looks like Ludiacha is going to be out for a long time. Yeah, unfortunately getting that arm injured in the last match. So that does open the door for another lock to be able to make his way into the mix. And I would not play any or put any of South Africa players on the first team, says Richard. And also we've got there 10 p.m. here, says Henzo, and also 5-meter scrum Munster. I'm amazed to see Cornell Hendricks back playing since he had heart surgery not too long ago. Amazing comeback, says Cited. And also what time the Kiwis, Oz time, Oz New Zealand time, thanks Hamish. It is 8:30 a.m. tomorrow morning. So relatively early in that regard. And also South Africa need 2 quick tries to have a chance at winning, says D7. And this could be the opportunity to do so. Because at the end of the day, they're only 5 meters out, an attacking scrum in a very good position on the field. It's exactly what the doctor would have ordered. And now going for the rolling one. It's a penalty to South Africa. Oh, Carl's getting the card out. Uh-oh. The loose head's going to the bin. He's going, mate, it was my first try. But it's going to be Liam O'Connor off the field. Yellow Munster, I mean. And also South Africa need 2 quick tries. And also Irish taking control of this game. Got it by the joystick. Going to have cruise control, says Roof. Although now with a man disadvantage, maybe we could see a little bit more, I guess, attack from South Africa. And well, not winning. They don't gel selections, says William Vic there. Liam O'Connor, though, off the field now for the next 10 minutes. That will take him through to about 71 minutes through this matchup. And also we have we South African have to score twice with this guard. Or it's Dinosaurs for us, says Chad. Yeah, Liam O'Connor. He's only been out there for a very short amount of time, like I mentioned, and already finds himself with a card in this matchup. We will go like this, and we will go like that. There we go. Uh-oh. It is frozen. Don't do it. It should come back very soon, hopefully. And also can't do quick tries doing the slow grunt work up front, says Cited. Yeah, it's currently sitting still. I don't want to refresh the page, though, because I feel like that might jinx it. So I'm just going to leave it here for a slight moment and see whether or not the coverage does come back all by itself, which I hope is the case. Maybe. But it was a 5-meter scrum for the South Africans, so a very good attacking opportunity once again, with the fact that they had that man advantage. Or did they end up going for the line out in the end? Not too sure. Right, we're going to risk it. Seems like it is well and truly frozen. So we're going to have to refresh it and hope that it doesn't cut out. It's cut out. Okay, so it's got the connection error there now. So what we're going to do is we're going to disconnect. Wait, why were we in Finland? That might do it. We were in Finland. How did we end up in Finland? I think it's a good question. We'll go to Dublin instead, seeing as that is an island. Yeah, I don't know what happened. We ended up in Finland, which I think makes a big difference in terms of the connection side of things. And Try Given, says Finton. So now the score, 28 points to 14, and Try Notchia giving the Boks hope. And yeah, he's only just come off the bench, hasn't he? That was really weird how we ended up in Finland, even though we had set ourselves to Ireland, and Notchia deserves a chance in the international squad. See, he's probably one who is definitely right on the verge of making it in. But then they've got so many great players at the moment who can almost make their way through. Right, we've got the coverage back, ladies and gentlemen. That only took us about maybe 30 seconds compared to last time. That took us almost 30 minutes and pulled up the wrong flight, says Chad. And try given took them long enough, says Cited in the chat as well. But now the score 14 points to 28. And still another 8 minutes left of that yellow card. This could be the time that SAA really start to find their feet in this contest. Munster need to try and put a shutdown to it pretty quickly. Adogbo has gone off the field. That is for Hurley, who has made his way out there. Now the ball bouncing awkwardly. Munster have been able to regather. They've got the advantage as well for the knock-on. Now going off to the left-hand side. The draw and pass doesn't work out. Now they will be going back and scrum. Munster from kickoff. Says Richard there and try given. Took them long enough. Says Cited. And they have a Malakai Fekatoa now out on the field. A lot of you guys may remember him from either the All Blacks back in the day, maybe from the Wasps when they were a rugby union side. Unfortunately, not for too much longer. And then also now playing for Tonga, but not playing for Tonga. He actually missed out on selection for the Tongans for the most recent international window, which you'll be a bit disappointed about, I would think. Overall, maybe he'll get called in, but also maybe they don't see him as an option heading into that Rugby League, the Rugby Union World Cup taking place in 2023. And the thing is, we are getting closer and closer to that World Cup. I believe it's only about 300 and something days now. Another free kick for Munster at scrum time. That is certainly a bonus, seeing as they were playing with one less man out on the field. But now recycle quickly. Paddy Patterson goes across. Good tackle made on McDonald, driven backwards as SAA playing against the All Blacks 15. They aren't, but I wish they were, because that would have been an awesome game to be able to watch. So yeah, it's a bit of a shame that no one thought of that, I guess, as an option. Now off to the right-hand side. Once again, it will be Healy as the first receiver. Taken down nicely. Almost stolen there by Dupré, but didn't quite have his hands on the ball. Wycherley goes across. Cut out pass. Beautiful stuff from Munster now. Down the wing. Good grabber. Oh, he's just been pushed into touch. Oh, he's hurt himself as well. He was really cheap shotted there off the ball. And also ref thrown over the sideline, says Richard. Yeah, it was a nice pass on the outside. He grabbed the ball, and then from there just got pushed, and he really drove his knee into the ground. It would have been hurting big time. But 302 days until we see New Zealand versus France in the Rugby World Cup. And also we have got there, who do you think will win the World Cup? I think it's going to be someone on the side of the draw that involves France, New Zealand, South Africa, and Ireland. One of those four sides, I believe, are going to take it out. I haven't decided which side yet. But luckily, I've got 302 days to be able to decide. Now, wide cutout pass. Nicely done by Munster. They'll be trying to hang on to position as much as they can and use up as much time. Great work over the ball. No. End up losing his footing in the end. Not sure. Oh, in fact, no. It was actually because his teammate hadn't rolled away. And since it's only a South Africa A game, if we lose, Rossi will limit himself to a TikTok video instead of a full podcast. Is cited in there as well. Or they want the 3 here, Munster. I think they've decided that would be a very strategic move indeed. I'm just looking through at the first round games of that Rugby World Cup. New Zealand, France, Italy, Namibia. So they are the ones of Pool A. Ireland versus Romania. That will be an awesome matchup. Australia, Georgia, England, Argentina. That'll be a great rematch now that we've already seen them play. And it was very close. Japan, Chile, South Africa, Scotland, and Wales versus Fiji. So those are all the matches of round 1, I believe. And then a few teams, of course, have buys for that very first matchup. Munster 5-minute outline out. Says Richard there, and it is going to be thrown in by Niall Scannell now. Sitting 69.5 minutes at the moment in this matchup, which does mean they will soon be able to have their man back. And also we'll go there. And the chat lost another, says Richard. Be thrown in nicely. It goes over the top. And that will be now in the hands of Grant Williams, who kicks it way downfield. Will you be covering Ireland versus Romania and Detho Hamish? We will be. We will be doing every game of the Rugby Union World Cup. And it does come around in 300 days, surely. Scotland for the first one against the All Blacks this weekend, says T7. I mean, I wouldn't underestimate the Scottish. They've got a good side at the moment. I believe they've got Finn Russell back, but also with the fact that they've got the other veterans on the side, such as Stuart Hogg, he's going to be one in that back line that they really need to link up well between. But yeah, I think Scotland, they're going to keep it close, hopefully, in the matchup. And New Zealand, who is the better island, north or south, Says Chad, if we are basing it off the North versus South matchup that took place, you'd have to say the South Island. But if you're basing it off Super Rugby, you would also go South Island because of the Crusaders. And then if you're basing it off the Bunnings NBC, you'd have to go North Island because of Wellington. So it's a tricky one to decide. I think they're both relatively good. Is Herman Munster playing? Not that I know of, Fluffy, for this matchup. And also ukulele for me ASAP, says Rudy in there. Might bring it out at the end of the matchup, perhaps. And also Scotland's defence is nowhere near good enough at the moment, says Richard. And also I thought it was banned. Or I think what I thought was banned, says Richard. And also no only Festa. And also we've got their laughing faces from Nazi Williams. And also say it is the measuring stick, says Hensel. Now it's going to be another line out for the Munster men, sitting 11 minutes through this contest. Or left in this contest, I should say. Niall Scannell needs to make sure that he gets this one right. The crowd singing as well. Nicely taken by Munster. I believe it was Hurley. And now the rolling maul will start. It seems like South Africa, though, they've got this one relatively well shut down early. They've got a lot of men in there now rolling around the side, getting over the ball for South Africa. Yes, it's going to be stolen. Brilliant work. Well, I believe, I want to say it was Daniel Duprea. He's actually put in a decent word for himself off the bench, you'd have to say, in this matchup. He was selected for the Springboks squad, I believe last year. Didn't get a single minute of time out on the field, so then got sent back to the Sale Sharks. Williams kicks it himself with the box kick. 10 metres now. Out from the halfway line. Good spin there. Beautifully done by Patrick Campbell. Now finds the wide cutout pass, but he's bounced it straight into the hands of the South Africans, who just managed to almost keep it in the field of play. They will be going back for the advantage for the initial forward pass. And now South Africa will have themselves a scrum. So now with 1 minute left of this yellow card, this is the time that South Africa do need to be able to get themselves another try. And that will be a long 10 minutes. Or this will be a long 10 minutes, and not share with the jackal, says Connor Murphy. Yeah, he gets himself locked down very low over the ball, and it's just extremely hard to shift when he gets there. Another bit of a yawn for myself. Oh, time off. We're not wasting time, is the comment from Carl Dixon. Now Grant Williams about to feed this ball in for another South African scrum. So 9 minutes now on the clock. So that actually used up a minute just from the two sides getting set for the scrum. If this goes down in the front row, we will end up using another minute of the game. So it will be all about game management now in the next little while. Nice scrum from South Africa. They've got themselves an advantage now once again. It's going to be a nice step from South Africa A with Cornell Hendricks in the midfield. Now Williams goes off to the short side. Big shot on Matanzima there. Boy, it was the number 18 replacement, Keenan Knox. 40 metres out from their own line here. South Africa continuing to attack. And also, buddy, please, says Rudy. And also, hey, I'm a Munster. And I keep muttering around. Says Fluffy. Quick tap taken by Grant Williams trying to find the gap. Nice draw and pass. Henko van Vyk tries to go up the middle. Sitting 40 metres out. Jack O'Donoghue nowhere near supporting the body weight. So it's going to be the advantage for South Africa. Now another run. It's going to be kicked forward. And they say that it might have been forward as well. Nicely taken by Haley. And they will be going back for the initial penalty to South Africa A. But the discipline of Munster has really been leading them down in the second half. And South Africa A have certainly been trying to fire back. Grant Williams shouldn't be a fifth choice at 9. It was more on attack than any of our 9, says X. And there's, and from what he's done off the bench in this matchup, surely I hope anyway that will get noticed by South African selectors, and they'll go, right, if we want someone to be attacking rather than those box kicks, maybe it wouldn't be a terrible option. A box, trying a bit of the blitz box style in the last play, says Cited. Yeah, they decided that they go with a little bit more of an aggressive attack. South Africa 10 out, says Richard there, and the kick for touch. It's going to be coming from Gianni Lombard. Let's get that one out. I'm about 15 metres out from the line now. It will be South Africa with the line out. The Sinbin player has returned out onto the field, so that is going to be a useful one for Munster to try and defend with one extra man out on the field. They've been defending well throughout this contest, but it's just been the case of whether or not South Africa can get that ball out wide efficiently enough to then create that bit of a gap in the defensive style. And also, Cornell will play the ukulele, says Rudy. And there's Cornell Hendricks. He's a very talented individual, so I do assume that he would be able to play some instruments. Paddy Patterson gone off the field, and that is going to be for Cronin. Has now made his way out there. Williams goes across now to Cornell Hendricks. Tries to get back up to his feet. Leaves the ball behind. Now, Fenta driven backwards. Another advantage for offside. This might be another yellow card for Munster here if they're not going to be too careful in the discipline stakes. Williams after Ruanokia hits it at the line. There is still time on the clock for a draw here for South Africa, but they do need to score probably before 75 minutes. And a ref, you are a disgrace, says Richard. And there's now going back across. Inside ball. That's going to be, was it knocked on? Yes, it was. They will be going back. And Hamish, do you have any South African friends from work? Just in general, I don't think I know any South African friends of mine. In real life, that is, I assume we are talking. I think the last South African that I talked to consistently was probably my year 7 teacher at school. I think she was probably the last South African that I've, talked to consistently. I'm trying to think of any other South African people that I actually know in person. I might find a South African at the cricket tomorrow. Maybe. Time for a water break, says Carl Dixon. So everyone will sit there and put their mouths to the sky as it is still raining. They will have some hydration. Abelili Fassi, he's gone off the field. The replacement for him is actually going to be Nohamba. So I'm interested to know what type of reshuffle they're going to have now. Yeah, my friend, says Rudy in there. And can someone in South Africa send me a baboon? I want to pick baboon, says Fluffy. And what is your favorite live that you've ever done, says Bianca. Oh, there's a lot to choose from. Too late now. Carl Dixon says they took too long for the water break, so they got to go back off the field now. Favorite live stream ever? It's a hard one. I feel like it's probably one of those late night random hour of the morning ones that we've done. You know, like one of those ones that we just randomly had fun in the middle of the night talking about random stuff. I feel like they will probably be one that I can think of as the best. And also, actually, I'll call my pet baboon Barry. Barry the baboon. I like it. And also, we were there in a game last week. No one was offside. Everyone offside tonight. Different rule book. And, mate, all the South Africans are in hiding from last week's sporting events, says Chad. And there's the scrum has gone up. You must stay in the scrum before going up in the front row. This is good management from Munster. And even if they don't mean to do it, which I believe they would have some sort of idea behind what they are doing here, it's just slowly using up more and more time, whether it's little things like the front row's going up, a scrum reset, that's all using up an extra minute on the clock. So pretty much the last 5 minutes should have been South Africa attack. But really what we have seen is South Africa trying to get an attack going, waiting for the clock to pretty much count down in a way. And yes, penalty Munster, says Richard, and also reset scrums, wasting so much time, says Sighter. So the ball about to be fed in by Grant Williams. And yep, went down on this near side. I believe it was Sunday who ended up going down, and Munster were very happy. Andre Hugo Fenta getting right in the face of the Munster men as well on the side from Chad there. Okay, they're just starting to get angry, I think, South Africa, as you would be. I mean, this game has not gone anywhere near as they would have planned, but Munster now about to put this ball way down the field and then have themselves their own line out. Jack O'Donoghue extremely happy with that one. And so don't stress, my friend, the ukulele will be the theme song when the Springboks win in France. And also my favorite live stream ever is Carol from Bristol, says Fluffy. And also we were the other side from Chad, but now 40 metres out from the line, 14 minutes left. That's a lie, 14 points difference, I should say, between Munster and South Africa with only 3 minutes left on the clock now. And to be fair, watching South Africa play is about as exciting as watching the scrum resets. Pick up, run, bang, pick up, run, bang, says Richard. And also, yes, a hit in the ear fight, or hit in ear fight, says Richard. And expect the Rassie TikTok video to be uploaded. Yep, it is going to be a penalty advantage in favour of Munster now. So they're going to be looking for the ball. Yeah, the penalty ends up going against the South Africans. You have a little bit of push and shove starting up now between the sides, and tempers are certainly flaring at the moment. And also reckon Barry would be a great ref, says Fluffy. The baboon, Barry, would be a good ref. I mean, maybe one day we might see some animals fighting, or some animals reffing, I should say. But now we're seeing some animals fighting, though, between Munster and South Africa. I was hoping to start my Friday off well, says Chad. And also, well, sure, says Wayland there. Now, another penalty goes to Munster. They'll look to just kick this one downfield, take their time, kick it into touch, and then reset for the line out. Okay, South Africa want to fight. Let's go, says Richard there. But the thing is as well, uses up more time on the clock, you got to remember. So I feel like Munster's game management throughout this match has been actually very strategic, I guess you could say. I guess that just comes down to some of the experienced guys that they've got on the side. They'll know what they are doing. Yeah, taking McDonald out in the sky. And also, we've got the South Africa A. Too many unforced errors. Munster deserve the result, says GQ there, says Richard. And now it's a knock on by Green. Scrum reset. In fact, no, sorry, it is going to be a scrum, I should say, rather than a scrum reset. I'm just anticipating the one that happens in about 40 seconds' time. Yeah, South Africa, hey, these guys will be pretty disappointed with how this matchup has gone. They don't actually have themselves too many other games of this end of year tour, other than they do play the Bristol Bears at some point soon. Could be an exciting contest and a relatively intriguing one, because Bristol, they'll be missing their English players, but they have still got a very strong side, I believe. The men in charge of Munster, they will be very happy with this performance, though, to be able to hold out up against the South African side and not just win by a little margin, but winning by 14 points seems like that's going to be the case. And not good performance from the youngsters, but good experience, I suppose, this side of canvas. That's a good way of looking at it. You know, a little bit more time under the belt out there on the field. 1 minute left on the clock for this one. Now Munster looking to roll this ball back. They've been told to use it. 21, get out of the way. Grant Williams getting told off by Carl Dixon there. Still Munster's ball, though. They have currently got another 40 seconds left on the clock, and it looks like they are just going to be using their big forwards. A nice offload, accidental one, I believe. And it has been regathered by the same man who did end up initially dropping it. Now Munster sitting 30 metres out from the South African line. It looks like they are going to just continue to attack with the big forwards, wait in the 20 seconds, and then I believe they will end up kicking this ball out. And as it's a South African team that we'll be playing in the World Cup, it is not. So maybe about, I would say, 3 or 4 of the players throughout this 23-man side will be a part of the squad for South Africa's 2023 World Cup. Maybe 5 or 6. If they're lucky, a night or pub time game over, says GQ, and also Virat Cauliflower. I should play rugby, says Fluffy. And there as well. Now it's fired back again. Munster just waiting for the full-time siren. That will be the game, ladies and gentlemen. Kicked into touch, and Munster get themselves a historic victory over South Africa A, 28 points to 14. And you can see how much it means to the Munster man. Jack O'Donoghue brought down to his knees almost at this point. But I think that's also fatigue. That man has been working hard throughout the game. Fantastic night up Island Rugby, says Richard. And women's final hype, says Chris. Yeah, that's going to be a massive game between New Zealand and England. We will be covering that on the game, or on the channel, I should say, tomorrow night, ladies and gentlemen, alongside the Rugby League semi-final between New Zealand and Australia that has taken place tomorrow morning. But I do thank you all very much for tuning in. If you did enjoy the commentary, be sure to leave a like and subscribe to the channel. Munster getting themselves a nice win there. They will certainly be impressed with that, and they will be looking to build towards another few games of the URC. But thank you all very much for tuning in. Like I mentioned, if you did enjoy, be sure to leave a like and subscribe to the channel, and I will see you all for the next one, although everyone is still talking in the chat. So one moment, we will quickly read out these ones. Thank you for fighting with the strikers. Welcome back, and you're awesome at the commentating. Says Bianca, no worries at all. But yeah, the copyright strike, we managed to get it removed a lot quicker than we did anticipate, which was always great news and great report. Says Aiden, great commentary. Well done, Munster. Great stream. Thanks, everyone. Is there any chance the Springboks can be number 1 at the end of the world rankings before the year ends? It would be difficult for them. If they beat France, that will certainly help them out. And then after that, I believe they've got Italy, and then they've got England. So if they beat both of them, maybe. But the other results would need to also go South Africa's way. And at the moment, that would be relatively tricky to do. But it's not impossible for them to go up the top. Munster boom, says Connor, and also final score 19 points to 16, says Jimmy O'Brien. Not quite. 28 points to 14 for this contest. And whoop, whoop, whoop on your Munsters, says Fluffy there as well. But nonetheless, thank you all very much for tuning in. If you did enjoy, be sure to leave a like and subscribe to the channel. I will see you all for the next one.